Okay.
There's a delay as well.
For some reason I'm not connecting.
Oh, it'll take
It's
about
weird.
quite a delay, about 10 to
There.
12 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll tell you when it's on.
It's pretty heavy latency. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Now it's there we are. You guys are going to be behind me, so.
Yeah. Right. Of course. Yeah.
Isn't that the way it's supposed to be?
Oh man, I gotta watch. I gotta watch what I'm gonna say because we're now on.
So is it broadcasting?
It should be right, and it is now. But like I said, I'm ahead of you guys live now, and I'm doing my final typing. So everything you're saying is actually live right now, even though you.
Oh yeah, see, there it goes. It says for watching.
That's a good it's a good delay, whatever it is. It's a good even 20, even a half a minute or a minute. It takes a bit. So you'll see people will start logging on right now. I got a full thing of coffee, and there we go.
Yeah.
Hey, Andy's first. Andy says, "Hey, Dave, Terry, and Scott. Are you watching the comments, Scott? I think Terry is not logged on, but
There we go.
Yeah, I'm logged on. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Don't ask me why.
But I'm going to mute the TV because of the
now
delay.
see the delays coming through, right?
Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, I'm logged on. Yep. Yep. But I'm going to mute the TV. Oh, hold on. There we go. Yeah.
Now I was going to, because I'm a DJ guy here, I can.
Yeah, you can actually do it for real.
I got Boats and Rivers playing in the background right now.
Oh, we got
Bloody told ya.
tonight. Look at this.
Okay, and the only thing we got to make sure is we can all hear each other.
Yeah, this is good. Party line's good.
Okay, hey, there's
for the,
Nancy. Hey, Nancy, I'm having your dark chocolate coffee. And Ruby, hi. Hey, Michelle, Toronto Michelle, Mike, Daryl, Ruby, Steve the Thorpe. Your neighbor Scott Matthews is on the line,
Hey, Steve.
and
Hey, thanks for
BTR
all
is
the
there.
birthday wishes.
Hey, Deb,
Of course.
Nina. So wait for everybody to. We're playing some vintage Scott Matthews Juno. It wasn't a Juno. What was it? A Uno? What were they calling it?
Yeah,
CFNY Awards.
Yeah.
Did you know that, Terry?
Yeah.
The Unos?
Yeah.
Scott was nominated for a Casby or a Uno in way back.
Yeah. I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't remember that personally, but
Yeah, first, and then it turned. Then they turned into Casby's. Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Daryl says, happy belated birthday, Terry.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, happy belated Terry.
Why, thank you.
And there's my mom and dad. And
Hi, Mum and Dad.
yeah.
Hey there. Haven't seen them in a while.
It's a family affair.
Yeah, this is, wow. I think everything's working.
That's good.
Ken says no stories, just lyrics. The irony, there's no lyrics. Hey, Caroline. So,
Gemini's rule.
to check my meters. Yeah. Now, maybe eventually we'll get everybody up on screen, but right now we're doing things by phone, so. Hey, Helen.
That'll be another show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, not exactly the Johnny Fever, Steve, but, I'm doing my best here. So as I said, what you're listening to, hey, John Blaine. Oh, my God, how many neighbors have we got here? Remember John Blaine
Wow.
on the streets, Scott?
Yeah. Yep, I do.
John and his wife Melody, and well, I think the whole family's been out to see me play, and we kind of reconnected, which is cool.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit of Boats and Rivers, as I was saying, from Scott's EP, 12-inch, and you sold quite a few thousand copies and got nominated and got a lot of attention with that. That was just a couple of years after we played together.
That's right.
In the neighborhood.
Yeah, 83. Yeah.
So I know,
and only a couple of years. Yeah, I was 20 when I did that record.
Wow.
Yeah. Long time ago. Long time ago.
I just happen to have the vinyl here. Let me see if this is. I'm gonna hold it up. You guys see this? That's
oh, jeez.
Yeah. So I'll introduce you. I've talked about Scott, and of course Terry is on the line. Terry needs no introduction either amongst the group here, and this is now the bazillionth recording I think Terry and I have done over the last 5 years or so. We started with, of course, the EP of tunes that we did with Michael Sadler, the vocal tunes, and then we did some stuff with Crownlands. We did an EP, and then we did an orchestral record, Faces in the Stones, and this is our second COVID record called Broadcaster. And we also, just a few months ago, we put out an anthology thing that has a lot of the stuff that I really wanted to put out on one digital release. So because Terry and I had so much stuff that was fragmented, EP releases, and even some additional singles and stuff and remakes that we did. So I wanted to get them all out on one thing. So that's the anthology. So this is like really the third DB3 release during COVID. So
yeah,
and the second record, and the second record that we've made, really, I don't think Terry and Scott have met in person yet, right?
No, not yet.
No, and we've done 2 albums together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. How weird is that?
That's
man,
totally awesome.
Yeah.
So, but I can tell you guys just a little bit about making the record and the process. In that, we kind of said, man, I feel like doing something, because a few months had gone by since the last one, and Terry goes, well, send me what you're working on. So right away, started sending these tunes to Terry. And in case you guys are wondering about the production end of things, often like a demo will get to Terry and he'll make a suggestion, and that will even change the structure and the arrangement of the song before we even start the full recording. So we'll talk a little bit about those. I don't know how we arrived at that when we got this kind of collection of songs, and before we knew it, we had 10 of them. So I don't know if you wanted to say anything, Terry, but the first track is Dark Eyes, and you had some great ideas for the solo pieces too, and how we put them together.
Yeah, I think it might be easier if we do it tune by tune, because that's a lot of tunes.
Yeah, well, we got time here. These broadcasts have been going lengthy, I got to tell you, lately.
The Dark Eyes, I have to say, when I first heard that, it made me smile. It's got a real sense of humor. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah. That was the Les Paul influence. I had been trying to a couple of these tunes. We decided to do. We opened the track with Dark Eyes, and that's on the new big jazz guitar, the D'Angelico, and kind of big flat wound strings and plugged right into the console, and very old school. So why don't we try playing that one? And
sure.
And you guys will. This is Terry's idea to put the song order together too. So.
Yeah, if you don't like this first tune, that's my fault.
That's right. Okay. So here we go. Here's Dark Eyes, and we'll.
Yeah.
I'm having a sticky mouse here. Here we go. Hey, Calgary Michelle. Now I think somebody's phone is bleeding a little bit, but who knows? It could be anything going on. But we're back. So that's that one is Dark Eyes. That opens up the track. Is Scott and Terry still there?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, great. Yep. Okay. Yes. I'm hearing some bleeding, but I guess that's maybe inevitable. I don't know. But
is that right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I don't know.
Huh. I did have it on so quietly.
Oh yeah, no, it's totally it bleeds through, but don't worry about it, Terry. We'll figure it out. It just it's there a little bit in the kind of.
Well, I won't put it on the next tune, then you can tell me if it's bleeding.
Okay. Yeah. So what else can I tell you? Terry had a number one record with a record called Broadcast, and I had thought of the name of calling it Broadcaster because I've been broadcasting. I'm almost at 200 episodes. So, but wasn't that right? Wasn't the Cutting Crew's record called Broadcast?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It was Broadcast.
Yeah, and Terry did.
Mine's like a steel trap.
Yeah. Well, and Terry did a little bit of orchestral mixing for them, and we've got some orchestral stuff coming up in a second. But this next song is called Big Buick, and it was from the. No, Andy, I didn't steal the title. I called it that before I knew the record was called Broadcast. I didn't know that. I mean, who would remember that from the 80s? I don't know. But this song is something that I wrote for the first DB3 record. And it was a multi-tracked steel guitar tune, which Scott plays bass on most of the record, but I played a little bass on this one, and it's a real short, quirky steel guitar tune, so I'm going to play this one now. And this one is called Big Buick. That's the sound of a real Buick there too. So now, hope you guys like that one. That's all steel guitar and my 8-string Gibson console from 1956. And now, that was much better, by the way, Terry, of whatever was going on in your
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I muted my phone.
Yeah. Now, how do you know? How do you know when we're back, though? How do you know when you're back?
Experience.
Okay. So we are going to get into the more elaborate. Again, this is Terry's running order, so this is kind of the point at which. Now let's see. I don't know. Maybe Terry can leave some of his audio up here when I play this. But this is a live recording of Scott and I playing our first gig together in 1980.
Holy crap! And where'd you find that? Oh, yeah.
But you know what song it is, Terry? It's the live version of Battle of Tribulation.
Oh, really? Wow! I'm looking forward to this.
Well, hey, it's pretty rough. Why is Doug doing that? Now,
so is this the one I mixed? Yeah, I had to sort of fix a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah. No, that's for the live record we haven't told you about. As you're gonna get Pro Tools are gonna get a workout. It's okay, I'm not gonna play the whole thing. Does this sound familiar?
Hold on. Had some TV on. Okay, hold on. Yeah. What was this? J.B. Terrell? Did you say?
North Bridlewood.
North Bridlewood. Oh man.
Great riff. I hated this riff when you first wrote
15, it. Like 15 or 17.
I was 14. So that's what I'm going with. Can you hear that, Terry?
Sounds great. I love it.
Sounds familiar, eh? Now here's Scott singing.
That is bizarre,
isn't it?
Hey, it's the same song, man. We didn't really change much.
It's like the same song.
Yeah,
and
it's the same song.
It's just this like crazy, nasty, big. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I must say that I was using two 212 guitar cabinets and about 150 watts, two trainers, 100 watt and 150 watt, and another 12-inch.
Yeah, it was loud. It was great.
And Scott had a couple of bass amps and 3 15-inch speakers. So we started right. We did it right.
Yeah.
Right from in the get-go. So we had now the thing that's mind-blowing is that I'm going to embarrass Terry, but if we knew that 40 years later that Terry would have mixed this song, I don't think that we would have.
Oh yeah, no way. No way. Are you kidding, man? No way. We were this was us emulating, trying our best to emulate our heroes, right?
That's true. I mean, I won't play the rest of it, but basically those time changes and those instrumental sections are all kind of there. So that's kind of what you hear is what was written. I didn't understand Scott's riff. I wrote the intro and the part in 6/8, the A minor, the shuffle.
Yeah.
And Scott wrote all the other stuff, and it was really cool. But the riff was weird. It was like Iron Maiden or something. And
yeah.
Now
before Iron Maiden, though.
Yeah, right.
Before Iron Maiden.
Now,
you're right.
But now you got to tell us, Scott, what the hell is Battle of Tribulation about? Because it's an instrumental now, but we kept the title.
I don't have the foggiest idea. I have no idea. And I still, you know what? I'm sitting in the kitchen and I'm making a coffee, and I go, Dave's probably going to ask me what Battle of Tribulation means, and I should probably come up with something that sounds fancy.
You should have made something
sounds
up.
Kind of Tolkien-ish or something.
Yeah.
I should have made something up, but I wouldn't be able to keep the secret very long. I have no idea what it's about. It just sounds really cool. It's kind of,
No, hey.
I was entrenched in Lord of the Rings, and it was.
No, you were the artist. I was. I don't know what my problem was, but you were more the. You read and you were interested in culture and classical music and reading.
Yeah, I know. Pain in the ass.
So, so Terry, now when I first gave you the song, you didn't. I think I told you that there was an old one on there, but I think you just heard it and you liked it. I don't think that you knew that it was 40 years old, did you?
Yeah. I didn't realize you'd written it when you were still in diapers, but
yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
I loved it.
It's really fun. We made well, there's some changes to it now. So let me play you the the new version, the Terry Brown 19. Oh my God, I almost said the 19. It's a 2021 version. Here we go.
Yeah.
And now, obviously, Terry had some suggestions in terms of some structure and input as we trade songs back and forth in the phase, and a lot of the dialogue between orchestration stuff I stay out of, and that's between Scott and Terry. I looked after the guitars, and there's not many guitars. I played this on my Telecaster, my first guitar, and I think there's like a one guitar track and then a solo track, and I played it live just to an amplifier, and Scott orchestrated. I don't think you ended up putting bass on this, right, Scott? It's just orchestration.
Yeah.
So
just all orchestra. Yeah.
And I tried.
Cool too.
Yeah, and okay, so I will play it now. Battle of Tribulation. Definitely some aggressive steel going on here. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, that was a fun one, and Terry mixed the hell out of that one. I don't know how many tracks did you give Terry, Scott?
Oh, I don't remember. There was a lot of orchestra. I know.
Yeah, there was an awful lot.
Two guitar tracks and like 100 and no, it was probably like 26 or something, eh? Oh. So yeah, that was a really fun tune, and I initially, all I did was give Scott one guitar track, and he orchestrated. Hey, thanks, Mike. And he just orchestrated to that one guitar track, and then we started the mixing process, and I think we just added a lead, and we change as we go, and that's yeah. Go ahead.
It's it's sort of the approach, I think, towards that whole orchestration and sort of fleshing everything out. The landscape and the sort of intent and the whole environment had already been established 40 years ago or whatever it was. So in a way, it was just kind of like going back to, Battle of Tribulation. Again, who knows what that means, but at way back when it meant something, and it had a picture and an environment and a place and a time, And so for me, it was just kind of like, well, what would we have wanted it to sound like back then if we said, hey, you can have Montreal Orchestra with you or something, like Moody Blues, etc. It's like, well, let's do that. Why not? So it was big, and lots of fun and very sort of. It was one of the tracks that you just go. That for me, I was just like, oh. I know where to go with this. We've been here before, So it was a neat trip back, as well.
No, absolutely.
It's a really colorful track. I love it.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, that's. I don't know. I think Scott and I were talking about doing another record after the one we just did, and we originally thought, well, I want to do a bunch of kitschy guitar stuff like Chet Atkins and some of the records that I grew up with, but also, I'm really crazy about a record called Chet Atkins in Hollywood, and what that is it's a lot of solo guitar pieces with orchestra. And one of the first tracks I wrote for this, I thought the whole thing was going to be kitschy and kind of solo guitar. We did, and then I thought, well, I don't have to just do like a Chet Atkins style. I can do like Battle of Tribulation, where I can play like a full rock thing and give him a solo guitar of like a rock performance, and then we can do it like in a rock way. But this one, Broadcaster, is much more of a send up to a different era with a different kind of Chet Atkins style of playing guitar. And Scott has mixed a lot of orchestral stuff and a lot of classic. Would you say? I guess you would say Americana. Would you say that Oklahoma's classic Americana?
Oh yeah. Right? Oh, big time. So, yeah, and like that track when you sent it to me. Like typically, what I do is that you send me something, and I just open myself up to what is it? What's invoking already? Like you've already painted a picture of it, right? Mm-hmm. Of what kind of it is. So when you say Chet Atkins Hollywood, I think of mixing engineers in lab coats. Right, and Pegboard Studios, Abbey Road, and RCA Studios, and places where Terry's worked.
Oh, I think when Terry started, weren't you wearing a white lab coat, Terry?
All the time.
That's right?
Yeah.
Breakthrough Group of the Year, Crown Lands.
Yeah. So I was thinking all that kind of stuff and thinking 60s. Well, what's more 60s kitschy than Bewitched, right? So I started thinking of what are some of the common things that those things like Bewitched do, right? They do these pizzicato violins, right? Blink, 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 like that kind of thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
And they use marimbas, but usually it's marimbas in like rolls, like marimba rolls, and syrupy octave violins.
Well,
they do that kind of thing. So I thought, okay, well. Let me paint that picture. And then I thought it's too pretty, so I got to put something else you know.
Yeah, well, and you know, we had Terry's got some experience with that kind of thing, and I think that he instinctively put the rough mix, you know, in real perspective, because when we gave it to him, it was very different, and then as soon as it came back, the guitar was changed and dried up, and the orchestra stuff sat in the
place where it should have. Yeah.
You must have done stuff like that in the 60s, Terry, eh? I mean, with kind of the type of, I mean, I'm nuts for Burt Bacharach and orchestral kind of stuff. You must have done a fair amount of sessions with that type of style. Did you ever do anything like, who's the English singer that was really big?
Dusty Springfield?
Yeah, did you ever do anything stuff like that?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
I didn't do it myself, but I was tape operating at that time.
Because you would have been like 17 or something.
Yeah, 18, something like that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Barbra Streisand.
Oh, man.
Is that right?
Yeah, the Lord's Prayer album. It was an American arranger whose name escapes me, but it was, you know, a pretty decent orchestra and all live off the floor.
Man, you must have been
very, very exciting.
That is so exciting. Yeah.
You must have been learning.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say you must have been learning volumes just like in one day at a time, like just from
day
to the
you're
next.
Not kidding.
That's incredible. Yeah. Wow.
Hey, changing the subject for a second. I don't know if you heard me before, but
I was going to ask you. Yeah, did they win?
Breakout Group of the Year.
Nice.
Really?
It was announced 2 seconds ago.
Great.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. Had I known that. I didn't know that the frickin' Junos were on tonight. I don't.
Well, it's not the main Junos. This is like an adjunct to it.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, okay.
They do all the things tonight that they don't want to do on the show.
Well, they should be on the show, so that's a major.
Which is usually more interesting.
And they will be.
Oh, are they on the show too?
No, but I said they will be.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not this Sunday, I don't think. But
I think they were performing, weren't they, as well? I think I saw Kevin's post saying they were going to be performing tonight. I just saw it today. But
is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
But I don't know in what capacity. Yeah. But no, they're doing so great, and they're such great guys. And you know, it's great watching them, see them develop. And
you
know. It's a guy that we could work with.
Keeping rock and roll alive.
Yeah, they're fantastic. Great guys,
especially with those outfits.
Oh well, they're really they're
Cody's
really stepping it
like
up
over the top.
I know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I love it.
They're great. They're having a lot of fun with it, and they're certainly not.
I should say so.
Yeah. As Steve Vai says, the ham is cooking. They have no problem hamming it up. So. So, well, I'm gonna play broadcaster here and listen for the Williams Burroughs voice, and he tells a little story. Scott's idea to put that in there.
Yeah, that was a great moment.
Well, looking for a dark moment because the rest was too bright and cheery.
Right.
It's funny though.
I know. It's a funny story.
Yeah.
guess he got what he was looking for.
That cool is track. Broadcaster, yeah, and that really was a lot of fun. I had that was the first one I think I gave Scott, and I was kind of really unsure if I could play it, and then so I was putting off recording it, and then I wasn't really sure if it was, you always think when you're starting a new thing that it's gonna, you're worried that it's not going to be so good. So I was really happy with so different for us. I think all of us really Scott doing that orchestration, and so I was really thrilled with that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Really turned out well. So we can talk about the next track, which if we were doing vinyl, this is a digital release for now. We're going to do vinyl for Faces in the Stones, white vinyl. And we'll do that in 2022. But this is a digital release, and Terry came up, as I said, came up with the running order. So this would be closing side A. But side one, yeah. But this is Corona Goodbye. So I have a fascination with steel guitar and a lot of kitschy songs that were done. One notable influence is Pete Drake. And, of course, Ry Cooder plays slide and has a lot of early styles in his music. And this song has got me singing and Terry mixing it. So it's not what you think. It's not a full-blown vocal tune, but it's got a little chorus that says Corona Goodbye. Scott has orchestrated it with, and played bass. I believe it's his Rickenbacker bass. Is it not, Scott?
Yep.
Yeah, and you added some crazy instrumentation. I added some a vocal, again with the big flat wound D'Angelico jazz guitar.
Yeah, you did organ as well.
And Terry made some suggestion for a lead guitar, which I wasn't going to do, but I put in kind of a talk box guitar thingy. That kind of made it even more Pete Drake, and there's Michelle Japan. Well, it's gonna happen. So this is my singing debut on in the otherwise instrumental David Barrett trio. Up until now, we've had a few vocal tunes, but none like this. So do you have anything to say about this one, Terry?
You should mention that you're not doing the soprano or the altos.
I don't know what you're talking about. You're trying to take away credit from me. You're trying to
No, I'm talking about those. I'm talking about the other vocals in there. Everyone's going to say, "Oh, is that you singing that, Dave?"
Hey, man, you bet it is.
Yeah.
He's very versatile.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it's kind of. I mean, it's not called a mellotron, but is that what it's supposed to be? With all those vocals.
No, it's actually vocal. It's actually sampled vocals.
Right, but
I use mellotron on other tracks on the record, but this one is actual, like sample vocals. So they're oohs and ahs. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I kind of
drown them in reverb. So.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, it's very cool. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh,
so
yeah.
now that you've gone and blown the whole thing, it's not me singing; it's Scott's trickery. No. So yes, no, we added.
Disappointing.
That's right. I try to get away with these things. So yeah, Scott's right. He augmented that, but that's actually good because it's just. I think didn't I doubled the vocal, right, Terry? We didn't really. You did some.
Oh, absolutely.
You
man.
did
it
some
makes you
processing.
Sound expensive.
It makes me sound at least. Yeah, it's like twice as good as So
that's right. Twice the goodness.
It's good.
Okay, so Corona Goodbye. It's a big charting at 200 with an anchor. Here we go.
All right.
Anybody else? Do you have anything to add? Anything else to add on this, Terry?
No, off the top of my head, but when we finish listening to it,
all right. Scott, you good?
No, I'm good.
Okay, here we go. Corona Goodbye. Listen to that bass guitar. That is Corona Goodbye. And thank you, Phil. Yes, Ennio Morricone is one of the greatest for sure. And I hope you guys like that. And
definitely beach and a beer music.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah,
that
paints a great picture.
Yeah, that was so fun. They were definitely doing some things that I've always wanted to do, and not necessarily sing so much, but do a song in that style. And I just heard that, and I just wanted to do it, and I gave it to you guys, and of course you knew exactly what to do with it. And listening back, I was just loving it. You know, when I got the mix back from Terry, it was just perfect, because there was a lot of little detaily things in there that was sometimes when you're working with it, you know it's getting away from you, but you know when it's mixed it'll be fine. And
oh yeah. And a lot of that was also just simplifying some parts and stuff. But yeah, it turned out really, really well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great vocals, though. Let's face it.
Oh yeah,
the vocals carry that.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, maybe I had it in my head. I was thinking about I should do a whole. I think I said to Scott, I think I should do a whole record of songs like that where they all have just one like vocal line and then like 10.
Yeah, and then that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I stopped. Then I
did. And then you can orchestrate, Scott.
One vocal. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it just. He'll come up with a line. Yeah, it's great. It's gonna be great. You just finish it. It'll be great. But, well, so thanks, guys.
So what are you drinking there, Dave? Are you drinking bubblegum coffee tonight?
I'm glad you asked, Terry. I am drinking Bones coffee sent up from Nancy in Florida, and I have about 6 flavors. I have strawberry cheesecake coffee. I have peanut butter and jelly coffee. Key lime pie coffee. This one is dark
what's
chocolate.
On the menu tonight?
Dark chocolate. It's quite tasty. I can't leave it alone. I made a huge French press thingy, and now I'm running out. I'm drinking way too much coffee though. It's so wrong. But it's good. It's good. It's good for the playing. It's good for the energy.
Yeah.
You do three 2-hour shows a week. You gotta.
You need your caffeine.
You need your caffeine.
Yeah.
You gotta be psyched up.
Yep.
So now, speaking of psyched up, I'm gonna move on to Malagueña, and this is another thing that I sent this to Terry as an idea to kind of have as an interlude between 2 tracks, and Terry in producer mode goes, well, you know what? It's kind of cool, but why don't you make it much longer and make it into a full piece? And then I thought, oh, geez, he's so right, and I'm so lazy. I don't want to really do that. Isn't it good the way it is? And it's like, so what's super cool is that I actually listen to Terry and Scott, which is great because it does make everything better. And I went. I thought about it for a couple of days. I did my research on some other versions of Malagueña. Most notably, I may have learned the Carlos Montoya one. I'm not sure. I learned it as a kid. Again, with this theme of this record, I learned this over 40 years ago. So what I did was I listened to some modern versions by Brian Setzer, and it's also a 60s version of Chet Atkins, and I incorporated, and then I wrote a little of my own section. So I kind of expanded on the arrangement under the direction of Terry, and Scott kind of gave it back and said, you know what, I tried a bunch of things, and it's just better as a solo piece. So I'm going to play it for you now, and this is Malagueña, and kind of in keeping with this whole expansive, I don't know, Indigo Montoya, jeez. This whole kind of record spanning several decades. Do you have anything to add, Terry or Scott, before I play it?
Me, no. It's a great track.
Yeah,
it is a great track. Yeah, and it sits in really nicely with all the other stuff because it's such a contrast.
It's so much
fun. The orchestrated material.
Yeah,
and gives the record great dynamics.
Yeah, and
you always got to take a break from some. Not everything can be big, and not everything you want it to be small. But it's nice to have the contrast. So I thought, I didn't want to step all over it. It's great playing and a great piece. So I thought, man, I'll just stay out of the way.
Yeah, good for you.
All right. Well,
good for you. No, it works.
Yeah. And on that note, here we go.
All right.
Malagueña.
Okay.
So that's Malagueña, and that makes me think of Roy Clark and those variety shows, you know, back when the guitar player would come out and kind of play solo guitar. And also, I don't know if John Blaine is still on there, but I remember I was thinking about you the other day, John, because we had the same guitar teacher for a brief time at Bob Neveu at Neveu Music, and Bob Neveu showed me how to play Malagueña, and that's the only really thing I learned. I learned Malagueña for a little bit of flamenco lessons, and I remember you calling him like the mad scientist because he had this. He looked like that guy in the Mad Magazine comics with the kind of bald on the top and curly hair on the side and crazy round glasses, you know. But he was quite a character, and that's right, Steve Thorpe. Hee haw, you got it. That's exactly it. So that's Malagueña, and I'm going to just while we're talking here, I'm going to call up a demo from 1980, and where is it? This is my Sound and Sound on recordings, and this next song we did is a remake. Which guitar did I use, Phil? It's my Takamine Classical, and in the first half. And the second half was the new D'Angelico, which is the big jazz D'Angelico, the black one. So I don't know if Terry and Scott can hear this, but I'm playing.
I can't. I've got the TV muted, so
yeah. Well, I'm playing original sound on sound recordings of basically what is this next song, Open Space.
Oh,
and,
yeah, right.
And so this is a remake of this song written when I was about and recorded using 2 cassette decks and a mixer and a Korg monophonic synthesizer and oddly a Rickenbacker copy, Paul Mather's Rickenbacker, more neighborhood stuff, and an old Suzuki acoustic guitar. So I'm just playing this in the background for the guys as we discuss this one. So Scott threw everything but the kitchen sink into this one. My instrumentation is pretty simple. I think I added steel guitar to do some Moog sounds and a lead guitar talkbox thingy and a 12-string. And then Terry mixed the hell out of this. Was this the most challenging one, Terry?
It was pretty challenging.
Yeah.
I made a lot of choices, right?
There's a lot going on.
Yeah. This was sort of more of, for me, a more keyboard player approach, like Richard Wright, Pink Floyd, and Stevie Winwood with the organs, and more like and mellotrons and things like that. So more of a keyboard player approach than an orchestrator approach. So I'm thinking more chordally and player-like than orchestra, monophonic type of thing. It was more chordal and more like playing in a band was kind of the approach on this. So yeah, I got to throw all kinds of things in there for sure.
Yeah, and it really wanted one track on there that really was kind of a nod to the Pink Floyd thing and the what's the word? I don't know. I guess the vintage synth thing. What you said, basically.
Yeah, more like more like electric keyboards as opposed to synthesizers. Mm-hmm. So it's more like the 70s, like Stevie Winwood, Supertramp, where the guys are using Wurlitzers and B3s and Rhodes pianos and acoustic pianos and all that kind of thing, and some synthesizers in there. But synthesizers weren't the body of the sound. Electric pianos of all those different vintage sorts were, and I loved them. I mean, I just love those instruments.
Yeah, and you certainly have a great collection of sounds at your disposal, which is more than I can do. I do not have an aptitude for that kind of thing. I can get guitar sounds, but that just kind of I occasionally on our records I throw in a Moog sound from my phone, from my app, or a Mellotron, but that's about the extent of it, Well, I mean, the occasional Logic instrument, but I'm glad. Yeah. So here we go, guys. This is grab a beverage, maybe a chocolate martini in Ruth's case, and you got it, John. It's very Pink Floyd. So here we go with the 2000 what year is it? 2021 version.
Yeah.
just think of Max Webster right here with that wall.
that is called Open Space. And the oh, that's good, Dave. Thank you, much appreciated. And that was written over 40 years ago. And Terry, you can talk about the ending. You had a suggestion for the edit, because I took great lengths to do the arrangement true to the original, and I reworked. I gave it to Scott, and then I said, "Hang on, Scott, I got to redo it. I got to get the ending right." And then we did it, and we finished it, and then Terry did this great edit at the ending.
Yeah, it's a subtle thing, but I when I was listening to it, over and over, it was just, I got to this point where it was like, this is where it should end, and because it's climaxed, it can't go any farther. There's 4 bars extra on the end, and I thought, you know what, let me see what I can do. So
I love it. I love it now. I love it, but
I think it works really well.
It's better.
I thought about it a lot because I didn't want to blow it from the original, but at the same time, I think it really. It ends where it should.
Oh yeah, I mean, it undid all that work that I put in, but it took me 5 minutes. No, that's, but it's no. I'm really happy with it, and I'm really all the I really thought, because by the time Scott and I finished it, the second half I was kind of a little bit bummed because we had so much stuff going on. It's like, oh, it was
so much sonic real estate, just
I know,
full up. And I thought, I don't know. I wouldn't want to be Terry.
Yeah.
I would. It was just so much sonic information that put everything in its place would take a long, take a long time and a lot of effort. And of course, it all, you hear everything, and everything comes out, and it's just a great mix.
I think, I was going to say, just listening on my computer, which of course is not necessarily the best place, but. I found it a little piano heavy. Did you find that, Scott?
Oh,
on this end a little bit, yeah. I like more piano than I remember in the mix.
Me too.
Yeah, and I thought it was maybe it's YouTube, maybe it was my
maybe Dave's messing around with it.
Oh, I added piano and you guys weren't looking.
Yeah, you added piano, yeah.
Not content with vocals, now he's adding piano.
That's right. So. In the background, I'm playing a record Scott and I did, and which got a hell of a lot of downloads. I can tell you.
What, Amitabha?
Yeah.
Is that what you're playing? Because I can't hear, but
yeah, I can't hear it either.
Yeah, it's this track called Amitabha, and it's from a record we did back in 2005, and it's the first time we did a record much like this one. So you guys can look it up, called Amitabha. Scott Matthews, David Barrett. I don't know which name comes up.
I think it's David Barrett. Yeah.
Yeah,
David Barrett,
my name's and sometimes it's hard to find because it doesn't come up when in the searches with some of the other trio stuff or whatever. But it's a great record, and it's the first time we did a record mostly over the internet. We exchanged files and.
That's right. That was the first one we did, and that was what year was that? 2007 or something?
No, it was like 2005, and
wow.
You can look it up. I think, it's really a cool record, and it got a lot of streams and a lot of downloads over the last
a lot of attention,
16 years, but just quietly because it's really mostly an ambient record, but it's a really it's
an unusual record.
Yeah, it's an unusual record.
In retrospect, hearing it now, it sounds kind of unique.
Yeah, and it kind of set the tone for. I think that some of it was born out of laziness too, because
big time, yeah.
We were really creating soundscapes, really doing a Robert Fripp, Brian Eno type approach, which kind of means, hey, let's do these cool sounds, and we assembled it together online and traded files. Actually, half the songs I wrote and started and you added to, and then half of the other songs you wrote and started them and sent it to me, and I finished the guitar parts, and we did it that way. You mixed everything, and then we did another one after that, and of course we played on. So we have a long history of doing stuff together, but I guess I'm taking a long-winded way to to just say that we do have this history of doing recorded projects together. But what's so nice about this new record is we just really got a lot more detailed, and also we're able to get loud and rock as well as the kind of ambient influence stuff, as opposed to just kind of being in one gear, So, and then having Terry kind of mix the stuff that is and produce in terms of feedback with all the sticky, tricky bits is a great way to collaborate, especially because we're not in the same room together. But the way that we can actually trade files, make suggestions, make changes, redo stuff or not, and then finish them is really really an amazing thing. And it's also we're doing a little better because technology's changed. I mean, remember what we had to go through?
Yeah. And we also get used to it as well, doing this
that's a good point.
After so many years. Like I think the one time you and I in the last 15 years actually were in a studio together was at Lorena McKennett's place, and you and I recorded I think 1 or 2 tracks there.
Yeah.
And I think in all those years it was just at her studio.
That's
and that
right.
was it.
And that was the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
Well, let's face it. You guys hate each other.
Well, that's right.
Well,
It comes to fisticuffs.
Hey, kind of. I mean,
No.
It's never really happened.
No, never does.
Yeah.
No.
So.
No.
And, so there we go. Now I'm going to play this color that's shining. I'm going to get bluer and bluer as it gets darker outside. But this is one of my favorite colors on my app, and it's called Dodger Blue. So this song is named after that color, and it's the 8th track on the record, and it was a real fun one. Again, this is another new one that was not written 40 years ago, but written literally a couple of months ago. And tracked with one guitar. And what did we do to this, Scott?
It did sort of an Oberheim thing off the top, and then it really just turned into reinforcing the melody, and harmonizing around the melody, but really keeping that melody really strong. And I remember when Terry sent us the mix of it, his note in the email was melody, melody, melody. I think it was. Or something like that, wasn't it, Terry? It was like,
something
okay.
That,
Yeah.
And it was encouraging, too, because Terry liked this one, and we were both...
We were really kind of...
I know what it was.
Yeah.
You did it, and you kind of sent it back going, I don't know, whatever. Give it to Terry, see what he thinks. So, and I really found myself, what I like to do is I like to do the same thing as I guess you guys do, is I put it on my phone and I go for walks and I'll put it in the car.
Yeah.
And I listen and re-listen and see if I find myself drawn to it and see if I like it. And I really like this one, and it's weird. And
it is a weird tune. I like it, though. Yeah.
So this is called Dodger Blue. That is fretless bass, Andy. Scott on fretless bass.
Colors in the arrangement. It's just like it's a really very nice piece.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and
has so much energy too.
Mm-hmm. I try
on that track.
Yeah, I tracked that with. I just plugged my Dagmar guitar straight into the amp, and turned it down to clean it up a little bit, but just stuck the mic in front of it. No, plugged straight in, no effects, nothing, and then we did some kooky kind of like that. One thing reminds me of Chuck Mangione off the top, and I'm doing a Beach Boys trick that was some Beach Boys song where the guitar player used a slide with a straight flat edge on the slide that makes sitar sound. So I'm playing the steel guitar with this a glass slide with a flat edge that makes it go bzz, makes it buzz and gives it a sitar sound. And then Scott is playing the I believe that is your Fender Jazz fretless, Scott.
Yeah.
That's a nice sounding guitar.
It's a great.
Thank you. Yeah, I love it.
Basses sound great.
To say nothing of the playing.
Yes. And we got some fretless on the record.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's not like I don't know. It was the perfect song for that, and And you're right, Dr. Mins. That's kind of the same theremin sound I used on your record, using the EBO on the steel guitar to make it sound like a 1950s spy thing. But I'm going to call up a. So we've been talking about, so those are some new songs. Dodger Blues, a new song. Broadcaster's a new song. And what's the other new one? Corona Goodbye was new. And this song that's coming up, it was originally called Sad, Sad Day. And when I was a young man, I did a lot of touring after high school when I was like 20. And then I came off doing a lot of road stuff for a couple of years, and I wanted to put my own band together. And I put a band together called Trouble in Mind, and we got a publishing deal with EMI, and we really had huge egos. We thought we were going to be the next biggest thing. And Scott started that band with me. And then Scott got married and moved to Stratford, and I continued on with the band, but it was a crazy band, a really, really crazy band, as some bands can be. And there's a lot of stories there, maybe even a book. But
yeah.
And as we say in Spinal Tap, some of it's best left unsolved. But as I'm talking here, hang on. Oh, there it is. So I thought, for kind of an archival fun thing, oh my God, listen to this. I don't know. It's maybe Scott wrote it.
We recorded a record live off the floor at Metalworks.
Hold on, you're cutting out, Dave.
And we had,
Oh, there you
I think Scott worked on all these songs initially, just the two of us. I probably, maybe 6 months?
Yeah, I think we got, maybe a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, we must have rehearsed like four nights a week or something.
Oh, we really did, yeah. And then,
like writing and recording and rehearsing, yeah.
And then we had this.
For sure.
Scott wrote some really cool stuff, and some of the stronger material that we kept was some of the songs that Scott contributed. I had a different writing style, and some of them were heavy influenced, but also a little bit syrupy, like this one. And this is called Sad, Sad Day. And I started playing a few things online and during the broadcasts and making instrumental versions out of them. And this one's got a nice chord change, but it's very simple. And you're hearing it now. And Daryl suggested, he goes, hey, I really like that. Can you record a version of that? So sometimes what I would do is I would go in and do a quick mock-up with a chord change and then play some leads and post it, But it kind of sounds, I don't really, maybe I haven't changed much, but kind of sounds the way it sounds,
Yeah.
So what we did is I thought, well, we're going to change the title. It's now called I had to come up with a title that I liked, so it's called the Music School Address. Do you like that title, Terry? Is that pompous enough for you?
I like it.
Yeah. So, what else can we say about this song? This is the 9th song, so this is one that kind of closes the record, but it was I would say it's the most ambitious song that we've.
I think so.
That we've certainly done
so.
For this one, Terry? And have we lost Terry?
I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, there you are.
Ah, there he is.
I was trying to follow what was happening in your room as well as keep on top of the conversation.
No, that's right.
You myself muted.
You didn't miss much. I was just saying that I was talking about the history of this song. It used to be called Sad, Sad Day, and it was written, for the Trouble in Mind band way back when we had a publishing deal with EMI in 1990. And I've been playing it since, and I thought, okay, we gotta do this song. And originally, I think I mentioned this to Terry. I was going to go, hey, I got this one just guitar track, and I want Scott to play like bass to it. And I want it to be like Frank Zappa's "Shut Up and Play Your Guitar." We just wanted to sound like we were jamming. And of course, it didn't. It went way crazy and got all out of hand. So.
Oh yeah.
So
it is definitely. I think probably the most ambitious song we've done.
Yeah, maybe, eh?
Yeah, I think it might be. Yeah.
And Terry took a few stabs at the mix.
Yeah.
But it took a little while.
Yeah, but I'm delighted with this one, and thank you to Daryl for the suggestion. Sometimes we get some great feedback when you're playing so much and interacting. People, I mean, I love the comments and all the. I got to find the record again here. Where it is. I love all the feedback, and so what else can we say about? Dave's still waiting. I told you, Andy, this is the night I slack off. I'm not playing live tonight. I am going to play. Obviously Sunday at noon, and then I'm doing another 2-hour backing track show on Wednesday at 8:00 called Guitar Army. So I will be playing with many layered guitars and way too many songs, and it'd be extremely gratuitous. So I'm looking forward to that next week. But yeah, so we got track number 9. What else can I say? You have anything to add, Scott?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
All right. So Here we go. The music school address. It should be noted that I did take music in school, and I got 20%, and I got kicked out of first semester, and that's my relationship to formal education. There we go. Yes, like a big chocolate cake. That was the music school address. And I have to thank Terry for working as hard on this record as he would on any record, and the endless enthusiasm. And same with Scott, the detailed amount of work, and again with the enthusiasm is really a great thing.
Fantastic. Yeah.
So, thank you.
Well,
both.
some good tunes to work with. So
yeah, it was so much fun.
Really
you're welcome, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome. Lots of fun. Lots of fun. Thank you.
Just as a matter of interest, what are you playing tonight? Are you playing the mastered 16-bit?
I am playing the MP3 because I had it titled and all ready to go, and I know I didn't want to tell you that I probably should have done the higher res one, but I didn't want anything to bung up any of my computer.
Yeah,
at least, that's
cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
But we did change a compressor setting. So hopefully it sounds good because it sound good out there, guys. Because we changed the in OBS software. We use compression when I broadcast, and we backed it off, didn't we, Scott?
Yeah.
So those new
we
settings.
backed it up
It sounded good.
Yeah.
Just curious.
Yeah. I just, I wanted to be completely glitch free. I got all the bugs out in Broadcasting World between the phone interference and the any hums and clicks. I have new cabling, and everything is ground hum free. And also even things like having the modem on top of the speaker and having little tips that Scott gave me have reduced any real catastrophic problems. So
yeah, well, that was pretty glitch free, I think.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, from me muting my microphone.
No, that's okay, Terry. Hey, the fact that we did all that, and it's such a relief because sometimes when things go wrong, I'm not sure that I can handle it. So I've had a great time, and I must thank everybody for tuning in and listening to our stories and our rambling. And I can't think of another record where I have worked on tunes that were that old and also that new, and a true collaboration sense of having Terry talk about the difference between working in big studios, Abbey Road versus a. Yeah, sure, we can ask Terry that for sure, Daryl. And what was I saying? I lost my train of thought.
You were saying about the collaboration between you and Scott.
Yeah, and yeah, we never really done a record like that, and it wasn't really the intention. The intention first was to be like a very guitar bass opposite record to the Big Faces orchestral record, and we did a little bit of both. But we really, and then the more I started thinking about it, I thought, oh man, let's do that Crucial Taunt song. Wouldn't that be wild? And then let's do that song from. I got these new ones, but let's do that one from Trouble in Mind,
Yeah, because of the novel aspect of it, it kept it, exciting and kind of creative, so that every song warranted a little bit different approach, and it makes for a cool listen, I think. Like, variety in it.
Yeah,
absolutely. Sure. And thanks to the guys in the neighborhood, John. Thank you, and great to see you, and Steve.
Hey to the guys from the hood.
Yeah,
it's been a long time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, long time.
It's great to see everybody. And
are these bandmates?
No, Steve plays drums, but he was a little bit younger than me down the street, and Scott and I started playing together. I mean, oh my God! I mean, I was 12 when we started playing together. We started. I had this little Fender Champ, and I used his because my amp was great, but it was small, so I borrowed his. I mean, can you imagine, Terry? Our drummer's brother had a Marshall Plexi, and so I used that. And Scott's brother, when we played at Scott's place, had a trainer, a 100-watt trainer. So
a 100-watt trainer with a twin Garnet.
Yeah, right. So we were kind of all sorted out, but we started so young. Scott was 2 years older than me, so even though, whatever, I mean, it seemed like, as soon as I was good to go with the electric guitar, we basically started playing all that stuff. Hey, wait a minute. Hang on. Since we're almost gone. Oh, Daryl had a question. I'm going to look something up here, Daryl. But Daryl asked, what's it like working for Terry, what's it like working in Abbey Road and studios like that versus today? Because it's not like you still are in big studios today, but a lot of it isn't, right?
Oh, yeah, a lot of it isn't.
Yeah.
Especially mix-wise. It's but it varies. I mean, some my brother, for instance, he still mixes through an SSL, and
God, really?
And you can do a hybrid of SSL and Pro Tools. I mean, I know there's other DAWs out there, but let's talk Pro Tools. And you can hook the Pro Tools up. Every track goes through a rail on a console.
Yeah.
And it gets summed in the console, and so there's lots of different ways of doing it, but there's an awful lot of records being made in the box, and if you've got the right gear, you can, and you know what you're doing, you can still do an amazing job in the box.
Mm-hmm.
It's come a long way, even in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 years ago, I wasn't mixing in the box, and I was like, I don't want to do that. And then I got some new A to Ds and some new gear, and Russ Mackey over at Blue Sound started fine-tuning stuff. He's got a big console, but I don't. So I started mixing in the box, and I'm happy with it. But it is a lot different from back in the day, Abbey Road,
Sure is.
Yeah.
Olympic, and places like that.
Well, it's kind of, I had the good fortune when I was really young to meet up with an engineer, a guy named Vic Pyle at Sounds Interchange, and I was still in high school, and I was doing all this stuff in the middle of the night at no charge, and learning a lot, and working on the SSL in Studio One and the Neve in Studio Two, and it was a great experience because it's the first time I had been in a real recording studio, and yet here I am at Sounds Interchange. It blew my mind.
Yeah, that was quite the place.
Yeah, and the one thing I'll never forget is going through a Neve and with the microphones and hearing the guitar back and going, oh, that's
Sounds Interchange.
Yeah, it's not there
Sounds
anymore.
Interchange. The Peter Ackerboom, who was the engineer for Boats and Rivers, he had a studio, which I did at his place. It was an 8-track studio, but a great room. But he was the guy who did all of the wiring at Interchange.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I haven't heard from him in many years. I think he got out of the studio business, but yeah, he had a great place many years ago in North Toronto, around Bayview and Eglinton, I guess it was.
Wow.
Yeah. Huh.
But he did all the wiring for Sounds Interchange.
Yeah.
That was some job.
Yeah. Back then, yeah, for sure.
I'm playing a little of Crucial Taunt doing Gatto.
Oh yeah. I can't hear it. What track is it?
No, I'll have to mute.
So Walk On, it's Gatto.
Oh yeah.
And there's this one. Before we go,
Oh yeah. It sounds good.
okay, so if I don't go, I'm going to be here all night.
There you go.
I
Yep.
know. Did you hear that, Terry?
Oh yeah, I said you snuck it in.
I did. I had
Yeah.
to.
I love it.
Okay, so
Well, it was a great evening.
yes,
Thanks a lot.
thank you, Terry.
Yeah, thanks.
Special guest
And it was
Terry Brown and Scott
Great
Matthews.
working with both you guys.
Absolutely, that was
Great fun.
that was
Cheers. Total
absolutely.
pleasure. Yeah.
great experience. I'm going to play out a short little closing track that we debated whether or not to have on the record, and I was persistent, and we put Amazing Grace because it's a mouse is. It's such a predominantly steel guitar influenced record. We put the last track, a little short Amazing Grace thing, and Terry liked it, so we added it, and it's the last track. So we're going to close out with this and say thank you, everybody, for listening, and thanks for Terry and Scott and being so much fun and going through all this crazy nonsense.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
All right, on.
Thanks, Dave.
Okay, guys.
Cheers.
Excellent.
Hello to everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi to everybody. Some
And,
great comments.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Great fun.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, and
Okay.
we'll see you later. I'm going to close out with this tune.
Yep.
So here we go.
Okay.
Okay.
Cheers.
All right.
See ya.
Bye.
See you, Terry. See you, Dave.
Bye.
See you guys. Okay, thanks, guys. We'll see you Sunday at noon, and that was a lot of fun. And thanks again to Terry and Scott. That was a great night, and great reading all the comments. And thank you so much for listening. And we'll see you Sunday.